Crazy. We're live now. What's up, guys?
What's happening?
Hi.
I'm with Megan and Jonathan. My name's RJ. If you're listening, just so you know who we are. If you're watching, hi. Nice to see you. We are going to talk about this show from a long time ago. A long time ago. 1997. Alpine Valley. I'm going back to Alpine Valley tomorrow. So this will be my first time there since this 8/9/97 show, which is crazy. I do want to tell you quickly before we get into it. We've been talking about this on the quick hits, but tomorrow, Thursday, August 11th, Brian and I are going to be hosting an event with Riley Walker at the Cooperage in downtown Milwaukee. We're going to interview him, and then he's going to play a set of music. Brian's already there. Brian's scoping it out, making sure everything is all set. It's gonna be really cool. That you can get tickets and check that out at osirspod.com/Milwaukee. We had such an amazing weekend, Megan, didn't we?
We really
have
did.
an
I'm
amazing
still kind of
weekend?
glowing from it. Yeah, it was really
really great.
fun. Yeah.
We had 2 days of events. One on Saturday we had Barber from the Disco Biscuits, and then on Sunday we had a water wheel auction. Things got crazy. I don't know. I think you probably saw this somewhere, Jonathan, but we plan on having Cal, Kehoe, and Tom play some music, play a couple songs
Right.
for us.
Sunday, right?
Which was
And-
amazing,
Sunday.
by the way. That was
It was great.
amazing.
Cal was amazing, and then they were like, and then I was going to interview this guy Brian from Dogs in a Pile, and then he was like, I don't know, I probably wouldn't play anything because it might just sounds a little overwhelming. I was like, all right, that makes sense. And then Cal sort of like started egging them on because he showed up with two of his bandmates, and then he was like, maybe we will play music. So then we were like, okay, so now we're gonna hear Dogs in a Pile play acoustic while we were doing our water wheel auction, and the sound guy came up to us and said, "This is why we sound check," which is a perfect front of house guy thing to say. So it all worked out fine. The people at the Anchor Rock Club were amazing. And we got some acoustic Dogs in a Pile. We got Cal and Tom. We raised, several $1,000s for the Water Wheel Foundation and got to have a really great time. And then on Saturday, Megan and I got to interview John Barber, and he played a set that was not acoustic. There was like people were going nuts in there. I would say that they were.
That was like a late
really,
night rave.
Exactly.
Some clips. It looked rowdy.
Yeah, people were waving fly swatters. It was awesome.
It was.
really
I
fun.
mean, it was
I guess.
really. It was pretty wild. It was really much wilder than I thought. So anyway, we had some great times, and now tomorrow we get to go to Milwaukee to interview Riley Walker and have him play music, and then Jonathan, you're going to be in Denver at the end of the month doing the
That's
same thing
correct.
with Taper's Choice.
Very excited for that. We will be sure to sound check,
Yeah, you should sound check.
not spring any surprises on the front of house guy. The audience, maybe, but not on the front of house guy.
Yeah. So
Take care of your front of house.
I'm excited for you, Jonathan, because I think that's going to be a really fun time. But I guess maybe we should just go forward with this. I'm wearing my Undermine shirt today, and Jonathan and Megan, I don't even know if you guys know this yet, but well, you probably do. But do you know that Undermine's coming back in September?
I do
I've
know
heard
that.
rumors.
It's coming back. We are coming back with Undermine in September. We have an amazing few months. We're going to go through December. We're going to recap a bunch of shows. Tom is going to host and interview people. We're going to go through a bunch of shows from a very special period in Phish history, and we'll say more about it later because you probably can't figure out what it is based on that. So, Jonathan, where were you in the summer of 1997?
Mostly I was working or home with a 1-year-old until The Great Went, which is my first Phish shows back after having a baby. Since December 95 actually is when I saw my last shows before having the baby. And I should say I didn't personally have the baby, but it was my baby.
You
That's an
assisted the
important
process.
clarification.
I was around.
Yeah.
I was involved.
Okay, so Megan, I want to ask you, but just for people who are listening, we have a couple comments. hey guys, and Megan, love your show. Let's finish up the run in style. We're going to do that. And then this
Yes.
guy, Russ Tab, he was there. He sent me a picture after, hey man, thanks for sending that message. Wasn't expecting to dance that hard before the fish show on Saturday. And I don't think any of us were. So that's some more about this tour. The show with the tour. Hold on. Brian, we have listeners and viewers asking us questions. Completely different question and topic. What do you guys think as of right now? I think maybe the show of the tour is maybe that's what you meant, Brian, but I'm going to answer that question. You know what I was thinking this morning, guys?
What
were we thinking this morning?
I don't think I got any credit for this. Do you remember when we said the show of the what we thought the show of the tour was going to be before the tour started? Remember when we did that little segment?
Yeah.
Don't remember that at all.
And I said Raleigh.
Way too long ago.
You said Raleigh. And you remember what I said? Do you guys remember what I said? You don't, because if you did,
I have a feeling.
Actually, I think I said Bethel.
I know what you said because of
what do you think I said?
Build up. I think you probably said AC just because
no.
you want to be a smart ass.
I said Blossom, and I think I was like
you
partially.
You did say
I was
Blossom.
partially right, but
yeah,
we're all
actually,
right,
said Raleigh.
I
think
did
we were
say
partially right.
Yeah, you said Raleigh. I said Bethel, and Kevin Hogan was on and said it was too early in the tour. And I think Bethel was definitely one of the best shows. Bethel Night 2? Yeah.
We're all kind
I
of.
think it will be shown up.
But
we're all
AC
kind
one
of right.
was amazing.
You can't pick Merriweather if you can't spell Merriweather, Brian Goldenberg. I'm sorry.
Man.
Your opinions are
typo.
usually very good, but your fingers are
he's
failing
just trying you. He's just trying to hang out with us, man. Brian, don't listen to him.
I'm a jerk. I'm sorry.
Okay, so Megan, where were you in the summer of 1997?
On Fish Tour, of course.
Yes.
No, I just saw the first 3 shows of that summer. So I saw the Virginia Beach, the Raleigh, and Atlanta shows, which changed my life.
Not a bad way to be.
Yeah, they were amazing. They were amazing. I had just moved from Tucson to North Carolina and met some new friends, and we had the most amazing time on tour. And we met up with a bunch of my friends from Arizona, and it was a magical summer.
So the first shows of the summer were Virginia Beach, Raleigh, and
Atlanta, Lakewood.
Atlanta, right? Lakewood, right? Wow, amazing!
The amazing
first
shows.
American shows, of course.
First American shows.
USA.
Very important. USA. That was really what a great and fun time.
Was that Fish Destroys America, or was that the fall?
That was the fall. But I actually think there's a good case to be made for this summer tour. It's so good. Every show you listen to from this tour is just fantastic. Summer 97. Okay. I know it's kind of brushed under the rug because fall is so great, but I love Summer 97.
Yeah. Before we get into the specific show, Jonathan, what's your impression of Summer 97 as a
I like it
summary?
better than the fall.
Wow.
I think that everybody's all like, oh, the fall funk is the shit. And I'm like, I don't like that stuff that much. I think that the summer has more variation in the things. And this show that we're going to talk about is a perfect example of it.
That's really interesting.
Totally.
Okay. I think so. I saw Tinley Park, which was a probably universally bad show, I think, compared to almost everyone. I don't think anyone.
Yeah, it's got a really low rating.
Called out here on the
you are
in the chat. I think that's for me.
Well,
and I will take that. It's
blasphemy.
not blasphemy because all of it sucks compared to Summer 95. Face it.
Whoa, that is blasphemy.
Wow.
Those are fighting words. I'm in corner 97.
This band has been going downhill ever since 12/31/95. Everything after that is just nostalgia.
Okay, 12/30/97
and
just
rehash sucks. And blah. No, that's all. I don't mean any. I don't mean a lot of that.
Well, I just want to tell you guys that the Tinley Park amphitheater outside Chicago was not cool, and I just remember it was like a big parking lot, and they had this sit-in in the Encore Sugar Blue, and I guess that was my first ever summer show because I had seen like some fall shows in Michigan, in 95 and 96, and then we went to Alpine for one night, and then we went to Deer Creek for 2 nights.
I'm glad Tinley Park wasn't your only show.
Yeah.
On that tour.
It would have been really
I'm sure
sad.
You are too.
Really sad. That would have been so sad.
Brent's final dead show was there.
Oh,
when was that?
7/23/90.
Wow.
Huh. Well, I do think one of my takeaways from that tour was like I felt like everything was so slow in a way that I don't know if you guys agree with that. But now when I go back to it, it doesn't necessarily hold up. But I think some of the Deer Creek stuff was like some of those jams were just really kind of drawn out. But now I like them now. I because I started listening to Fish in 94, 95, and I was used to like, the crazy fast. And then it was way slowed down. Not as much Alpine, but definitely the cities from Deer Creek, which is amazing. But I think at the time I was disoriented.
It's funny. I was like, I know why we're doing the 8/9 show, because at the time it seemed like that when we talked about it, that seemed like a good idea, and it was. And it's a good show. But today, as I was, getting my web browser set up on the fish.net page for 8/9, I saw the set list for 8/10. I was like, oh yeah, that one's pretty good. We could have done a 4-song, 5 if you count rotation jam, second set episode instead. Maybe next time.
Well, we should talk about that too. But let's talk about.
I didn't listen to it.
Okay, fair.
Yeah,
fair.
I didn't do my homework.
Not today.
Well, I've listened to it so many times. I can just talk about it if you guys want, but that seems kind of boring. And I think the 8/11 show, the second Deer Creek show, was actually like, it was not. I don't think it was that great. I think there was a good Antelope and some other stuff. But anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Alpine. Have you guys been to Alpine?
I never have, which is crazy
really
as a
far away.
Midwesterner. I shouldn't admit that.
So, okay. Now we're about to find out, and I'm going to take pictures for you guys, and I'm going to share them with you from Friday night, because I'm going to go back to this place and see if it's as amazing as everyone says. But everyone loves this venue, and this was right. What's the Jonathan? The Dead played a bunch at Alpine, right?
It's true. I don't have the stats in front of me. The 89 shows are widely, highly, and correctly well regarded.
I had those on tape. I remember.
Yeah, and the videos circulate, especially now since last year when they did all of the, was it last year when they did all the videos during COVID lockdown or whatever? Maybe it was the year before.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's really good. Summer 89 is really good stuff. I think the one thing everybody talks about for Alpine though is the steepness of the lawn. Some will say that you aren't a real Midwesterner if you haven't burned up some of your knee cartilage on that hill.
Yeah.
Sounds rough. It sounds like you want to be in the pavilion, but
it's a huge place, and a huge lawn. But I think you kind of like walk over the hill, and then you just see the whole thing. It's beautiful, and it's out in the middle of nowhere, and it's. But I do think that I remember that part of it just being like this gigantic hill, and then you come over the hill, and you're like, oh wow, here's this awesome venue. So Jonathan, when you were going back, this was their second show at Alpine. They played summer '96, and then would play pretty consistently through the present day. When you went back to this, I just want to ask you about the first set. Like, what was putting on a summer '97 show like for you? Just in terms of the sound or the way they're playing, or what were some of your thoughts?
One of my thoughts was that we should have like a box set from this tour, starting with a reissue, a box set specifically of The Great Went, which we are seeing the 25th anniversary of this summer. But no, I think the thing that really stood out to me is how ripping these guys could be. Everybody, again, talk about the funk and things of 97 and all those grooves, and they're there. But then you listen to this taste, and this taste was probably my highlight of the set. All good, though, don't get me wrong. But this taste is just an absolute shredding version. And that was the thing that, like, right now, after listening to it the other day and listening to it this morning, that's what stands out forefront of my brain.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, we have live releases of Virginia Beach, Raleigh, and Atlanta, the three that Megan went to, of course. And then we have Ventura.
It's getting
and
favorites
then
there, Megan.
and then the Ventura with the Bowie. It's amazing. And then we have nothing until later in the year. So I think that's where the summer releases end until that until the McNichols show in November. So I think that you're right, Jonathan, and I think that they should do that.
I think that they're just playing with such authority this summer. I mean, they sound really confident and really excited and energized, and they're putting a lot of emphasis into their vocals. Like they're just playing really like kind of forward facing, like very like in the moment. And what's amazing is that even though they're playing a lot of this like funk and slower pace stuff, they're also playing really delicately at times and also really fast. Like some of these peaks are just tremendous. Like they just build up and explode at the top. And I think they still have that speed from 94 or 95, but they've relaxed a bit because they've already peaked in a way. They've already reached all their biggest goals.
Reached that peak.
Yeah, exactly. That one peak. And so now they can kind of like, discover this new sound, and they have this confidence and swagger coming off that tour in Europe. And I love thinking about where they were historically when I listen to these shows.
I just want to point out Savage 1005 comment from YouTube. I think this is a good pitch for Kevin Shapiro, which is Shapiro needs to release all of the old soundbars before we all die. It just seems like it gets
very fair.
The urgency,
My time's coming any day.
I do want to I tweeted this out earlier, but if you guys don't mind, I just want to share this. Share this picture.
Oh my God, please do.
Of me and Brad, who I started this podcast with back in 2013. This is us at Alpine, 1997.
I really wish I knew you then. I
know. I kind of wish
like we would have had a lot of fun.
I wish I could remember
they were very young.
Yeah, it was only we were 18. It's crazy. Wonder what shirt Brad was wearing, because I bet it was as much of a rip off lot shirt as mine. So
yeah, I like your Pepsi Fish shirt. This is amazing.
Yeah. The necklaces are pretty
classic,
epic, right?
Classic.
Oh my God,
mid-90s.
So
good.
We just graduated from high school. We were out on summer tour. I mean, man, what a time to be alive,
Yeah,
it doesn't get better than that.
Awesome.
Megan, what are some of your highlights from the first set?
The first set, I mean, do I have to pick? This whole first set is so good. I think this theme is just tremendous. They're just like totally leaning into the vocals. They have like this rich texture that they're making. It almost, in the Fish.net review, they say that it almost like sounds like the end of a Limb by Limb, and it has that feel to it in that it's like crescendos in this really dramatic way. It's an incredible start to the show. Absolutely incredible. Obviously, shocker, I love this Ghost. I think every 97 Ghost is like my favorite thing ever. They just sound lit up, like such twangy bass. Like Trey's tone was really interesting in 97. Like he could sound really like twangy and kind of like funky, and then he can also be super delicate and soft. It's weird because they start out in this like electronic like funk place, which is like my favorite, and then they end in this like beautiful, really soft, like almost like birdsongy space. They're like repeating this like lighthearted little trill, and it's just really an insane jam. I mean, and also of course the taste in 97 is a force to be reckoned with. It just spirals up and up and up and just peaks. And I know I'm going to say every song, this is annoying, but the Reba too is absolutely so special. It's just beautiful. Released on Live Bait 11, and it's a beautiful Reba. I listened to that a few times. It's so pretty. I think I said every song.
I think the thing about the playing, like the Ghost, it's so like spare sort of in a way too. You know what I mean? Like there's like so much now that we hear like
synthesizers they could be using.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so true.
That's
Where's the alien space sounds? Yeah, it's very patient.
It's very patient. It makes it sound a little bit looser than I would have expected going back to these shows. Like it doesn't feels like you said, like they're definitely playing at the top of their game, but they're also not. They're not trying to do too much, which kind of like
Mhm.
comes through in these shows. Does that make sense, Jonathan?
Yeah, I think that. I mean, I really like Megan's point about like they aren't playing from a position of having something to prove. They're not the hungry 1994 Fish band. They are the we own everything on this table 1997 Fish band. They like there's a swagger. They came out and just kicked this set's ass straight away from theme, punch. I would like to hear a punch like this in
Yes.
whatever year this is.
Yes.
I almost said 20-something, 2014, but I don't know what the fuck year it is. Sorry.
And a soundboard would be really just really terrific.
It
Yeah.
would be revealing. The audience tapes sound great. Don't get me wrong. There's actually really nice odds of this, but
Mhm.
yeah, give me a board so I can hear Trey's tone properly tear the skin off my scalp. I want I want that. I want it,
Sounds
but
a
also the
little bit
dynamics of the soundboard will be a little different than that from the room.
Yeah.
These guys are so good.
The theme, the theme and the taste, both like Paige and Trey particularly, I think like just there's so much back and forth. It's really cool. I mean, I think the Europe tour that had ended, a couple months before this, I think that really did like give them a different way of practicing, and they were obviously like very much in sync at this point, which is just like really, it's pretty great. I'm really happy to go back to these. Also, they were only like 34 years old at this point.
I want to go
Wow.
back to 34.
Yeah.
know.
Me too.
But, like-
Isn't that Brian's age? How?
Close. I mean,
No wonder he's always so on top of shit.
they're on top of everything, and they were like huge rock stars in this, in this particular world. And they were 34. It's amazing.
And they were young. Yeah.
The Reba is not like what we think of as a 90s Reba, right? There's some different kind of playing in there. There's like a passage in there before they get back into the peak, and I think it's a really, really good version. Do you think this is kind of like some of the effects and stuff in the Reba remind me of the Fall 97 sound a little bit? I mean, it makes sense. It's only a couple of months away, but can hear it more here than I typically would.
Yeah. I feel like as the tour went on, they started to creep towards that sound more.
Let's read this for everybody. Brian from Attendance Bias, who was our guest just recently, says they may have had something to prove in Europe that winter, playing in small clubs and acoustically vulnerable. Being back in America probably gave them a sense of assuredness and authority. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because we often talk about Europe as being an opportunity for them to experiment, kind of nobody's watching, kind of low pressure. But at the same time, they are playing for hardcore fans and completely inexperienced Europeans. It had to feel good to come home to play to these large, Homer crowds here in the States. Everywhere there, we're ready to see this, and they were like, "We got this thing to show you," and boy, did they!
I mean, it's not easy to evolve. It's not easy to make up a new sound when you're a band at this point.
They could've
And
just
so
been
I think,
coasting.
yeah, for sure. And so for them to do that, they had to come back being like, "Shit, we got a whole new thing for you." Like, we're the fucking man. Like I think that's super cool, and I think they felt that way. I
And
would.
at this point, they had been back for 2 weeks of shows already. Math and numbers, obviously, not my
Maybe
strong point
3.
today.
I don't know,
yeah.
maybe 2.
And
Yeah,
they
I don't know.
were getting good response. So not only do they have this new shit that worked well in Europe, but it seems to be working out here in the States. So they show up in Alpine, like, here's some more. Let's kill it. We're feeling good.
They closed the set with Crossroads. They only played Crossroads 9 times between 93 and 98. This is the only one that I saw of the 9, and
I saw
it
it
was
twice.
the first. You saw it twice. Well, this was the first one since 12/9/95. So they hadn't played it in a couple of years. Where did you see it?
I think I saw it. MSG is one of them. Yeah, I don't remember where the other one is. Let me look.
It's a pretty awesome cover in this era. It's a really nice, just a great song for Trey to just rip.
Oh, I saw it at the Compton Terrace in 95, which is a show I have no memory of, which is why I didn't remember it. Zero memory of the show.
Oh, it must have been
in Arizona. It is either awesome or terrible.
Was I in Arizona?
I'm not sure which.
I can tell you it was not bad.
But it's a cool, they could bring it back, but I guess now they have like Santos and, they have other items like that.
I think there's another song from the show they should bring back, not that one.
There's plenty of opportunities for them to shred, but what's another one? Why not?
Why not?
What's song number 221 in this year's repertoire? Whatever. Let's go.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you're going back to something in set one, what is it?
Probably the Ghost Taste.
Probably the Ghost.
I don't know. I think I'd probably just play the whole thing again.
Yeah, let's be
Honestly,
honest. It's the whole thing. I love Dog Stole Things. It's so good. Yeah, I just play the whole set.
If you made me pick one song, it might be the Taste because it's an absolute shred fest. But I would probably just put on the whole thing again.
Okay, the whole thing.
How about
That's
you?
fine.
What about you, RJ?
I like the Ghost a lot. I just feel like it really sets up this sound of the year, which I really like. I like the funk, but it's not just like it's not the funk that we would hear throughout.
It's not like
fall.
a Hampton 97 show, where it's just
Right.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
It's not. It's better than that.
I think it's pretty solid. It made me excited to go back to Alpine Valley. And who knows what happened at set break? I mean, I was only 18 years old. I don't remember anything. I know that we had fun and I was probably on the lawn.
Not a lot of
hijinks of some kind. I remember, remember the ganja goo balls? Remember those things?
Yeah, I was terrified of those. Did you eat one?
Really?
Yeah, we used to eat them all the time.
I was scared to eat one that I would die. And listen, I was like a trash compactor then. I wasn't scared of much, but I was definitely scared of the ganja goo balls because it's like, who knows what they were.
Never heard anybody compare themselves to a trash compactor.
No, but
I ate anything. I took anything. Yeah,
wow.
It's a lucky I'm alive. I wouldn't survive today for sure.
I ate some ganja goo balls in the 90s. And you know what? They're gross. I don't want anymore.
But wait, what is your story about them, RJ? You had them at the show?
Well,
Do you remember
I think I
this,
probably had them. I probably had them at every show in the between 95 and 2000. And sometimes they didn't work at all, and sometimes they did, and you didn't really know if they were going to work or not, and you just ate them and you see what happens. It was a gamble, but I'm pretty sure that we had some here, and I think they worked. What a crazy time. But okay, set two. We have a Wilson opener, which is a good way to open, but then a foam kind of early second set foam, which is it's like maybe like 13 or 14 minutes. It's pretty crazy. I think throughout 94 and 95 and 96, even there was all pretty much set one, right? Like you didn't hear a lot of set two foams, but this one kind of it was a second set jam. It sounded like it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it appeared here and there in the early part of the 90s, like literally 1990 would bounce in and out, in 91. But then, yeah, it stayed pretty solid set one with very few variations for a long time and has returned to that as well. So pretty unusual in that placement. But yeah, it's a good little version. I mean, Fish.net calls it epic. That's fair. I'll let him have it. I won't lie to you.
How do you feel about it, Megan?
It's beautiful. The buildup is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great version. it's funny. I was just looking at the second set and trying to decide, like, the first set is so strong, and I think the second set's got so many amazing moments too. The show is just in general very good, but to me, there's a clear highlight in the second set.
Well, don't hold back. Tell us what it is.
No, wait. Maybe we
I
save
mean-
it for last. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Ain't Love Funny? Like, bring this back. This song is so amazing. I mean, they only played it 3 times this summer, and this is the last time, right? This Alpine Valley show, and
Yeah.
this song is like so beautiful. It's like this beautiful old timey kind of lyric and cadence over this like creepy, somber music. I want this. I feel like this is something, Jonathan, that maybe you'd be okay with instead of Hydrogen. Like, what if they did a Mike's Ain't Love Funny at Dick's? Like, I think you might be okay with that.
Mike's Ain't Love Funny, Hydrogen.
They would never
Think
do
about
that. You think?
Why not? Look, I mean, my first
I mean, they
show,
should.
they played Mike's Simple Mike's Hydrogen Week Pop.
Yeah, that's
Anything's
true.
possible as long as they play freaking Hydrogen.
Okay, fair. But Ain't Love Funny? Like, this is honestly like this is like, I think this is gonna be like my number one thing I want now. It's just the most beautiful song. So I feel like the Mike's has this like funky intro and then a jazzy feel to the jam, and it ends in this like gorgeous space that just like dissolves into Ain't Love Funny and goes into this beautiful simple. It's just so pretty. That whole section is amazing. And then 2 of my favorite songs to hear, Swept Away and Steep. So maybe I do like the second set as much as the first. This is tough. This whole show
I mean,
is
the
just very...
Steep is hardly more than the Scream, but
Yeah, it really is. I know, it was funny because I was like, did they play Steve? It would be like a controversy today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was it's very short. David, who's watching, says that he ate a gooball at Alpharetta last year. And I'm just going back to this. And Savage 1005 said, one of my friends made his old recipe from the 90s for the Gorge
Yes.
2021 and brought me back, shared it with some 20-year-olds and educated them on the gooball. So here we go. We're
Let's
having
bring
this.
the goo ball back.
I'm
Maybe
gonna
I'll
look-
try one. If
Oh
someone
yeah, I'm
will
going to
give
look
me
for
one.
them at Alpine.
Yeah, if you get one, like mail it to me or something, because maybe
Okay.
I need to go back to this.
Should I just
Yes.
buy like the whole basket and just
Yeah, get the whole thing. Buy them
figure
out,
out how to
RJ.
ship them later? I'm sure I can fly home with them. That'd be fine.
I think so.
yeah,
that'd be good.
just good luck not letting them melt.
Yeah.
Gross.
So Jonathan, what's your thought on this segment? I mean, it's really kind of like half the set because we got to talk about the second half, which I would say starts with "Son of a Mule." Let's talk about the first kind of part first.
It's great. This Mike song is good. I like the second jam. It's short, but I like the jam and the last, and Mike's song. I like Ain't Love Funny. I agree they should bring it back. It's a cool ass song. Only once played in the United States before a paying audience. Bradstock or whatever it is doesn't count, right?
Yeah, it doesn't count.
And then and it's good simple. Only thing that could have made this segment better was I Am Hydrogen. It's good simple, and I like the way it flows into Swept Away. Yeah.
I think everyone probably has heard this cover "Ain't Love Funny," but the Amsterdam version, because it's on like the official release, is pretty great too. You can really hear the vocal harmonies. I found this maybe because I was listening in the car today, but I found this audience recording a little bit hard. But maybe that was just me.
Were you listening in the
Mine
car?
was okay.
Yeah.
I was listening right here, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening on lots of dog walks, and it was fine.
We don't know. We don't know anything, or I don't at least. These guys do. So this and the mics it's a pretty straightforward mics and simple. I mean, it's good. It's all good, but there's no monster jams really in this set, which is sort of interesting, right?
But like sometimes you don't need them when you have really good playing.
Yeah. And sometimes I will sit here and actively dispute the not including performances in the jam charts or whatever. And here I don't think it's necessary. I think they're correct. Foam, cite that. Son of a Mule, cite that. And everything that follows. But
yeah
I think everything else is good, but just standard and great.
So I'm pretty sure that this kind of solidified my feelings about Son of a Mule. I think I saw it at all like my first three shows. I saw it at every show.
I feel like
I'm
I
just
saw it
like I
so
just
much
can't.
too.
I
Yeah,
just
in the
can't.
90s.
I can't. I don't know. I think it's just me. Do you enjoy
No,
it, Jonathan?
I like Son of a Mule. I think it's weird. I think it's like psychedelic klezmer. It is designed to pummel your brain with sounds that you maybe don't self-select. Um, and I don't know. Maybe I just saw it under the right conditions enough times that I like it.
it won you
But
over finally.
it didn't have to win me over. It had me from the beginning.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
I'm in. Give it to me.
What about you, Megan?
No, I don't like this song. I mean, it's fine, but it's just not. It's not really my jam. I mean, it's fine because it's so fish because it's a song about like aliens and donkeys. Like it's like it's silly, but it's not like it comes on and I'm like, yes, it comes on. I'm like, okay, it's Son of a Mule. If you went to a lot of fish shows in the mid '90s, you heard this song a lot.
And maybe that's part of it. Maybe it just connects me back to that, and I don't see it that much
it's
nowadays.
Nostalgic.
And so it just connects pathways in my brain to points in my life where things were different.
The
Gooball discussion is unbelievable.
It's so great.
It's so good.
It's so great. I want to say that we were talking about the incline of the lawn earlier. I just want to show. This is a picture of the lawn. So it's pretty huge and pretty steep. I mean, look how far away those seats are.
So RJ, I want you to take a laser level when you're there and give me the degree slope. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, I will do that.
What's a laser level? I don't even know what that is.
Obviously, you're not very handy around the house.
No, not. Shocker.
I have a bunch of laser levels. I can let you borrow one. I'm just kidding. I want you guys to know that
than one. I can.
According to TripAdvisor.com, this is going to Alpine Valley is only the fourth best thing to do in Elkhorn, Wisconsin. So
the fourth best?
Okay, well, what are the first three?
Yeah, this is interesting.
Number one is the Apple Barn Orchard and Winery.
That makes sense.
Number two is the White River State Trail.
Cool. Something to do in the morning, maybe?
Yeah,
maybe.
You got your time planned out.
Number three is the Alpine Valley Ski Resort, and number four is the Alpine Valley Music Theater.
Oh,
so
okay.
Those are kind of mutually exclusive, though. You're not doing the ski resort and the music center in the same trip.
Well, I just want you, there's a couple reviews in here. The cops there it's not great in terms of like, cop stuff. But there are reviews on TripAdvisor. One is that it's $36 for a beer, which is a lot, but like not surprising. The other person said that if you are on the lawn, if you listen to this is serious, guys. If you're on the lawn, your seats will not be covered in terms of weather.
This is not shocking.
I've heard that before.
So the lawn is not covered, which is rare.
I'm a little shocked by the beer prices because I haven't bought beer at a concert in a long time. Is that somewhere near normal?
No.
I mean, it's a great big beer.
No, that's like a double tequila.
Right?
No, it's not $36.
I haven't bought one of those at a concert either. So
yeah,
that's crazy.
I haven't bought either of those things at a concert in at least 2.5 days. But
yeah, same.
I think $18 for a beer seems about normal.
Like I probably wouldn't do that either, but that seems less crazy. But also, okay, I almost said fun. It's not a fun fact. Fact about Alpine Valley is where Stevie Ray Vaughan's last performance took place.
Right.
I think took part of an how do they describe it on Wikipedia? I knew this because I remember when he passed and getting the news, but he had played a all-star jam session to end a show there, and then took a helicopter from the show that crashed in foggy conditions.
Wow.
After playing there.
Not cool at all. Not
No,
cool.
not cool. It was sad day. That was on August 27th, 1990.
1990. Thank you for sharing that.
I don't know why I felt compelled. It's what I think of when I think of
It's part
Alpine
of the-
Valley.
yeah,
Having never actually been
It's
there,
the lore.
that pops into my brain. I probably knew about that before I had ever. Yeah, probably knew about that before I'd ever heard a Dead show from Alpine Valley.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Yeah, that was a pretty big deal. Well, David asked if Alpine Valley is a Live Nation venue. Yes, it is.
Aha.
So maybe that's just
We'll blame them.
some news for you. Okay, so this slave is really pretty phenomenal. I think it was like 14 minutes or something. You don't really get that these days. I think the last slave this year was like 9 minutes. I think that's like more where the slaves are these days. But it's just patient and
Yeah.
man, really, really wonderful. And into Weekapog to close it out. I think that's a really awesome segment.
I think patient is the key word, and I also really love the placement before Weekapog as the closer,
Yeah.
as opposed
It's
to
really
making it
nice.
the closer. I have no qualms with a slave closer, but I really love the way this plays out. It's outstanding.
I do too. It has like Slave has this like monster sound at the beginning, and then it gets like really delicate and gorgeous, and there's all this like space to breathe in it. It just feels very effortless. And the Weekapog is just it's like 1,000 miles per hour at the end. And you've got this total like rock star driving the crowd like into a frenzy. Like that's when it's cool to hear the audience version because they're just absolutely like going nuts. And then I love at this point in 97 when Trey's like talks over the music to say goodnight. Like he does that a couple times, like in the first set in 721. And like he says goodnight and thank you, like while the song's still playing. And I just like love that. It's such a like a I don't know, it's like an old kind of bar band move. And I think it's cool that he still does that. I love it. It's just great. There's also a lot of clapping in this show, which I don't remember from 97. But is that what happened? I feel like
that's just, somebody's near the taper. I think
there's a
comes
lot
through
of it
bit.
though. Like
Yeah,
in
like
Reba.
in the Reba on the audience tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, come on.
I'm like, you're
Stop
clapping
it.
during Reba? I hope I wasn't doing that in 97.
I mean,
Probably
this whole mythology about fish shows, people were like quiet in the 90s is bullshit. It's just not,
No.
it's just not true. Like,
People were raging. We were like
people
20. We were like very
Yeah.
young.
I mean, there were definitely
Yeah, but I had a lot less going on in my life to fill you in on during the songs back then. And I
It's
had
true. You're like, I just ate goo ball. I don't have anything else to talk about. The
just
goo ball
ate
I'm
a
gonna
goo
get
ball
tomorrow.
and incapable of
Yeah.
talking. Yeah.
Right.
yeah. But which brings me to something I have to address, which is that I got called out on the internet for talking during Saturday's Atlantic City show because I was
you and Tom, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
And I'll just tell you that if you go to a fish show with me, I don't really talk. I did take our friend John Barber to his first fish show in a long time. And during the first set, which he left to set break, I was explaining what songs were being played to him as they were being played. So I assume that's
really?
what this person like heard. I mean, I'm not having conversations about fish during fish shows, but maybe I was like, yeah, this song is like, whatever, 46 Days is like this song that, whatever.
This is when fish
So-
jiggles.
Yeah. I mean, there's not that much to say, but I just, I don't think it's, I think it's interesting. But and I can't remember the person's name, but you're welcome to come on the podcast anytime. We can talk about it here.
Well, RJ, I spent a whole set with you, and you didn't say a word to me except giving me lots of smiles and hugs. So it's fine. I can vouch for your.
That's what I typically do. But I was explaining what
involvement.
was going on to someone, so I guess I can't go back, guys. Banned. Do you think I'm banned, Jonathan?
No, I think that if that person got mildly internet famous in his community, somebody might, recognize him and say, hey, that guy talks at a show.
And put him on
Yeah.
blast.
A lot of us do it sometimes.
Yeah.
Hopefully not a lot. But you know what? Yeah, you're going to have to talk. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Sometimes it happens. I'm not that worried about it. I just wanted to address it because it
I'm
happens.
not a big talker. But you can
No.
stand near me and maybe talk at a Fish show anytime, RJ. You're welcome in my zone.
Thanks.
Yeah, I always want you in my zone, RJ. So you can do whatever
Thanks,
you want.
guys.
Just I can even withstand a karate chop, so that's fine.
Thank you so much. Well, I appreciate that. I typically do not. Okay, so what else? What's like a lasting kind of takeaway for you guys from this show?
I think is what Jonathan said at the beginning, that summer '97 is the shit.
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah, I mean, Circus Comes to Town was still new. Let's just mention that in the encore. But they had been really working it. They'd played it. This was the third time in the States, but they played it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in Europe between the winter and the early summer tour, which is they really liked that song when they hit the ground in '97. So since then, they've played it a few times.
You know, it's interesting because I really love their commitment on this tour to playing their new stuff and like playing it a lot. A lot of these set lists have the same songs in them, but you know, it's kind of similar. It's not, but it is a little bit to what they're doing now, and that they're not worrying about repeats and just playing the shit out of everything they're playing. And so maybe that's a good place for the band.
It's exactly what they're doing now. I mean,
yeah.
Fish finds a thing that they want to work on, they work on it. So sometimes they don't have, I don't know, you know, sometimes they're just like, well, let's play every song we ever heard of. And, you know, you get 400 songs that year. And then right now they're doing this. I think, RJ, you wrote about this on your fish.net write-up for the one of the AC shows, right? You know, right now they're playing repeats a little bit more than other times, like than in the spring or whatever. Big deal. They're also jamming more in those same songs, you know. And when they when they don't play repeats, people complain that they aren't nailing the bits in the song that they played once that year. You know, what do you want?
So true.
I want Fish to go up and play and have fun. And if they're having fun, the playing will be good and we'll have fun. And if that means playing a song twice in 7 days or 5 days or whatever, okay.
I heard so many repeats between the 2 Jones Beach shows, the Raleigh show, and the 3 AC shows, and I have 0 complaints. 0.
I mean, I heard 3 tweezers in like 2 weeks. Like that, you know, that's a pretty amazing, you know. I like that.
And that's you like it because you also love tweezer, and tweezer is the best.
I'm pretty sure I saw like tweezer at like every show I saw, and except for the second and third Hampton shows or whatever night they played, whatever nights they didn't play tweezer at Hampton. But I saw it like multiple shows. Like every show I saw after that, I think for several shows in a row, I saw it because I wasn't seeing every show. I wasn't seeing 5 shows on a tour or whatever. I just don't get around to it. But I did it for a while. And it was kind of amazing getting tweezer every time I went to a Fish show.
It's nothing better.
It's always been the same. I think it's always been the way it is now. I think that's my takeaway. But these shows are great. Because I won't be here to recap with you guys this weekend because I'll be traveling. Actually, maybe Saturday, but not the first night and not tomorrow. What do you guys think is in store for Fish over the next couple of days?
Sigma Oasis.
That is a fair.
At least 2. No.
Well, I have to tell you, today I was listening to the radio and I heard LaGrange by ZZ Top. Sometimes I just like to listen to classic rock stations because I like classic rock, and I just heard it, so I don't know if it's like a thing, you know, hasn't been played since 2012, but I don't know.
When we were rolling into the parking lot in Raleigh, we saw a LaGrange license plate. Shout out to whoever you are. Right on. And we got to briefly talking as we were navigating into our parking space, and you know, somebody said, well, that would be cool. Yeah, and somebody said that's the only ZZ Top they want to hear other than Jesus Just Left Chicago. And then we we came very close to listening to the first several ZZ Top albums on the drive home because they're awesome. Highly recommend that to everybody out there. But yes,
My dad
The
is a
Grange
ZZ
would be
Top fan.
great. We thought we'd see it, we didn't. So it's on the table, sure.
You never
It's
know.
it's in my top 5 most common played songs not seen. So
Yeah.
maybe it'll
Well,
happen.
then,
Maybe it'll happen.
Too bad they're
I
going to
hope
play
it happens for
in
you guys.
Toronto. No,
I know.
Yeah,
That'll be fun.
tonight.
that'd be what they do, right?
Neil Nandry, who's watching on Facebook, says I've seen 19 shows since 3.0 and no tweezer at any event. That's
Jesus, man.
That's pretty wild.
Wow. That is crazy. See, you just
amazing.
never know. Wow.
That is wild. Okay, so yes, I agree. I agree with the dog. I think
Reba.
it's time. We have a Piper Twist Santos prediction here in the chat. I think we're
That's a
gonna.
good
I
one.
think you guys are gonna be back tomorrow to recap the Toronto show. Is that right?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, I think that's what they tell me.
Like, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. See how it goes. Only if there are no flubs. Guys, this was fun. Thank you for revisiting this amazing show with me, and thanks everybody for listening. Just one more reminder: if you are listening or watching, and you'll be in Milwaukee tomorrow, come hang out with me and Brian and Riley Walker tomorrow at the Cooperage, 6:30.
So cool.
It's going to be really fun, and I think it's like I don't think that people know how awesome it's going to be, and that's fine because people who go will know. But it's going to be really really great. So join us if you're going to be there. Anything else, guys?
I got my hair cut.
Oh, I noticed that, but I was unsure.
I chopped my
but
hair,
yeah,
guys.
It's quite a big
I
Kind of
didn't-
like
isn't
a
it?
big deal. I know.
I didn't
don't-
notice at all. I'm so sorry. How is that possible? Is it because
Well-
you usually wear it back?
I don't know. My hair is an ever evolving situation, but I did get a big haircut. So
I didn't.
It looks great,
It's grown in.
thanks, guys. It
But-
looks good, Jonathan.
but I'm sorry that I didn't notice. Now I feel like a jerk. Sorry.
It's okay, RJ. My hair is always different. You just never know what you're gonna get. It's like a
I
grab
know
bag.
that's exactly what we look forward to.
I want to correct something before we go. It
Oh, no.
wasn't after Hampton 09 that my streak started. It was in the summer, 6/7/09. I saw a tweezer, and then the next 3 shows that I saw had a tweezer.
You need to hook up with Neil and go to a show with Neil so that he can
Yeah,
get
I've
a
seen him
tweezer.
at 25% of my fish shows. So, and
Awesome.
given that I'm going to Dick's, actually I have 26%. I will maintain that because surely there will be a tweezer at Dick's.
There's gonna be a tweezer at Dick's. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I can't wait to see. Neil, let us know. Keep us posted.
Yeah, I really hope you get a tweezer soon.
Yeah, it's got to happen. And thanks everybody for watching and listening. And we'll be back with some more recaps and some more regular episodes and all kinds of other stuff. So thank you guys for watching, listening, and see y'all soon.
See you soon.